Signaturetv, news in your pocket. Back. This is Top 5 here on Signature TV. Hope you're good out there. So this is the top 5 stories that are trending for you. Even though there are other stories, but these are the top five stories that really breaking the internet, especially as it concerns Osinachi's hobby. When that story broke some few years back, it really felt bad for a woman who gave us that very fantastic song, Ikweme, for a woman who sang from her heart, you know, and touched lives with her singing. She moved from different churches from one church to another, and gave us some sound that is quite, you know, dear to our hearts. To think that she was faced with some crazy, you know, domestic violence at home was really devastating. It was so sad because, again, we shouldn't be losing people of that character. I mean, you only have those kinds of talent once in a lifetime. It was so unfortunate that her life was cut short at just 42 because, you know, she was faced with domestic violence. I mean, it's heartbreaking, really. And something that, you know, people would always say, and sometimes I think it might be somewhat insensitive. And whenever you're faced with, you know, domestic violence, you should run and leave your home. Well, yeah, it's easy to say, run and leave your home. But again, where do you run to? Being for a family you have built, you've seen your kids grow from your tummy, and, you know, straight into the living. And it's difficult to just say, drop everything and move, you know, just because you are molested. But then again, some persons will say, look, you have to be alive to take care of your kids. You have to be alive to live, you know. You shouldn't be in a place where your life is threatened every single day. Whenever there's some sort of misunderstanding in the home, the first thing to do is to basically run off and try to beat someone, you know, just to show how macho you are. I mean, if you are that good in beating people, I mean, you should have been doing wrestling or maybe some boxing, not doing that for someone that you claim you truly, really love. I would always say this to anyone who really cares to listen. You know, sometimes it's good to run away to live. You have to live in order to fight another day. I mean, when you don't live to fight another day, you know, your life gets cut short. When an environment is heated up, leave that environment. Leaving that environment doesn't mean you have abandoned everything and you are going forever. You are going for the moment. And hopefully the person whom you are detaching from gets to get their brain in check in order to come back to basically, you know, solve the problem. There's nothing wrong with separation. These days, they even tell you that there's nothing wrong with divorce. Because again, the African society so frown on divorce that it's you know, it becomes very difficult for a woman to decide to leave her home. When she leaves her home, the society winks at her in a totally different light. They tend to look at her like someone who couldn't keep her home. So somewhat, we would have to try to really change the eye of the society, because again, if we didn't have that, maybe also that you would have considered, you know, leaving for the moment, at least staying away from a family for at least for a bit. So she would have at least lived for us longer enough. We know that everyone who paid its supreme price, but not like this, not from a loved one, not from someone whom had taken her to the altar and said that she loved her. And then all of a sudden, she gets beaten and, of course, dying from the wounds and of the beatings of a man she claims she loved. It's so crazy, and I hope that everyone who is facing the same thing, you know, in their relationships, would find some sort of way in resolving it. By resolving it, even if it means running away, even if it means separating, please, as much as possible, stay alive. We've seen people, you know, go through a lot of things. Some people have gone through sexual molestation. Some people have gone through, you know, the extreme, you know, beating. Some even have been poured hot water. Some have even attempted losing their